Welcome back to the Libertators channel. Today we'll have a Soulblight versus Khorne battle. Continue to prep for a little one-day tournament coming up in a couple days. We playing Legion of Blood, pretty similar to the other lists I've been playing. Got a couple changes. Same thing, general, it will be the Zombie Dragon, Doomed Minions, and the Cloak of Mists and Shadows, but he'll have the spell Flaming Weapon. Been have some guys on the Discord trying to convince me that that's a good pick. We're going to try it out today. Got Neferata, been working on painting her up there. Substituting out 10 skeletons for 10 dire wolves. Still got to get them going. And 20 Graveguard as usual. Vampire Lord on foot. We got the White King on Skeletal Steed. 1 unit of 10 Black Knights. And 1 unit of 10 skeletons. That'll bring us in at 2 drops. At 1960, so we got 40 points in case the battle scroll messes us over.
Alright, Blades of Khorne list, same as I played last time. Just a quick overview here. This is Skullfiend's Tribe, so an unmodified charge roll of an 8+ is a automatic fight first ability. I have 3 priests, 2 Slaughterpriests, and 1 Realmgore Ritualist. I have a Warlord Battalion, which gives me the extra prayer enhancement, so they're each going to know 2 prayers. My general is going to be the Lord of Khorne on the Juggernaut, and he's going to have Gorecleaver, and he's going to have Diabolical Purposes. That's going to effectively make my Mighty Skullcrushers BATTLELINE, and in Skullfiend's Tribes, the 2 units of 5 Skullreapers are also BATTLELINE. I have the Hex Skull Gorgers and Skarbrand featuring in this list, as well as a Sigmar for the extra unbinds and just another level of threat. This is coming in at 1990. Hoping that the battle scroll that's coming out doesn't significantly change any of the points. If it does, I plan to drop the bleeding icon. But here we go. Going into Soulblight today. We'll see how well we'll go. This will be one of our last practice games before the tournament. Very excited for the Blades of Khorne to finally be finished. Blades of, that's Khorne, C-O-R-N. And here we are.
Yep, and oh yeah, they're looking really good. And if you guys notice, we'll have some pop-ups for playlists that we've made for each army. If you want to see more Soulblight, you can just click on those, check out the playlist. We got everything separated out by army, so you can find them all in one place. All right, we're going to be playing Geomantic Pulse today. It'll be round 1 of the tournament we'll be practicing for here. Important part for notating on this one is that the person who's going second in the second battle round gets to choose which side the pulse comes down, either A or B side, and then that'll affect your scoring accordingly. Here's our deployment. We got our new objective markers there, 4 across the center. Got Khorne deployed on the line mostly. What you got going on over here?
Chained out with the Mighty Skullcrushers as a sort of screen. Kept my auras up, kept my priests within 8 of the altar so they get rerolls. I got a mystical over here. I'm tagging with 1 for that +1 to chant. And everything else just kind of spread out on the line.
Skarbrand hiding out behind the hut.
See if you can't do something this game.
Alright. We got Soulblight over here deployed out. Unit 10 Skellies, it's Leroy back with the boys. Neferata redeployed before the game with her ability. Back on the back line there. Vampire Lord and the Zombie Dragon, 10 Dire Wolves. In the grave we got White King, Skeletal Steed, unit of 10 Black Knights, and the 10 Graveguard.
We each got 2 Primal Magic Dice.
Yep, 2 Primal Magic Dice each. We'll be going into choice for Soulblight because we finished dropping first, and we'll be taking turn 1, seeing how that works, going for a magical dominance. The idea is to perhaps be able to win the turn roll off into 2 and give it away because if you go first, you win ties. So that will hopefully allow me to choose where the pulse comes down. So that's the idea behind that. End of turn 1 for Soulblight. Didn't do much, but we got our battle tactic. We cast both a Mystic Shield and Neferata's War Scroll spell for a 3-up Ethereal on herself, and we put a Mystic Shield on Leroy right here. Failed Horror Frost, He used his Nulldust, so we didn't want to use a primal dice to risk a miscast. We moved up. The direwolves just tagged that one objective because the most you can get on turn 1 is 3 points. So we got our battle tactic and 1 objective, and that's the end of Soulblight turn. 3 points going into Khorne turn 1.
End of Khorne's first turn. Took battle tactic, intimidate the invaders. Forgot the battle tactic halfway through my movement phase, and then made some adjustments. I got it. That's all that matters. Interesting things to note. I rolled my first. I changed things to using the Beast of Chaos dice when I'm rolling for my Beast of Chaos unit, and I rolled a 1 with all that attack. Anyway, other things that happened, I auto-ran the Realmgore Ritualist. Plan his next turn to do this is the +1 to hit piece of terrain. Got the Hex Skull Gorgers off. She suffered a mortal wound trying to chant Killer Instinct. Rolled a 2 into a 1. And everything else just pushed up, got some screens going.
Yep.
And, scored. And got the Hex Skull Gorgers off, as well as Witchbane Curse, and she's within all.
Yep, -3 to cast on Neferata.
So there we are, end of Khorne, turn 1. Now we're gonna choose.
We're gonna roll off, and then the person who goes second. Okay, 6, winning the roll off there, and then we'll come back after picking the pulse.
So I was issued the turn. I went ahead and took Led into the Maelstrom for my battle tactic. I chanted Blood Sacrifice back here, got a Blood Tithe point, moved D6 inches with this unit. It got a 5. Was thinking about skirting around, trying to reach. Wanted to keep more centralized, so ended up where I'm at. Got a Unholy Flames off on this unit for an additional rend. Scrawled the blood runes on this piece of terrain, so Holy Withinated it, +1 to hit. Threw a boulder, landed it this time, and killed 2.5 direwolves. Everything's kind of moved up, keeping auras spread out mostly back here. Trying to screen this out. I believe I took it, yes. Just barely took this objective, which is the pulse. I currently control them all, going into the charge phase for Khorne.
Then you used your ability on him for
Holy Within 16 rerollable charges for all units riding a Juggernaut.
all right.
Mortal units riding a Juggernaut.
Going to the charge phase.
End of the turn for Khorne. I'm going to score 4 points this turn. 2 for the pulse, 1 for controlling 1 objective, and 1 controlling 1 adjacent to the pulse. I failed my battle tactic because due to impact damage I couldn't get the Lord of Khorne in, and Skarbrand failed his charge with a reroll and 3d6. These guys piled in here, so he would have had to have ended up over there. He failed it by 1 inch. Unholy Flames did its work over here, took this unit out. Couldn't successfully wipe the direwolf unit, but that puts me at 1 blood tithe point and a total of 7 points for the end of the turn. And
yep.
As mentioned previously, this is now a +1 to hit 8-inch aura piece of terrain.
Yep, we Inspiring Presence to direwolves because we didn't want to lose the whole unit. When we lost the skeleton unit, so we still already have a chance at bringing a unit back. So we'll go with that for now. I was kind of hoping to be able to end on an even number there so that without a wound allocated. So I was thinking about allowing the battle shock, but losing the whole unit would just give him another battle tithe, blood tithe, and that unit would be a little bit more free. So we decided to inspire. Going into Soulblight, bottom of turn 2. End of Soulblight turn 2 movement phase. We have brought back 5 skellies outside of 3, and we're taking that objective, so that's nice. We brought down our 20 Graveguard and our 10 Blood Knights, Black Knights, and White King there. You had a end of hero phase, what's it called? Move? Killer Instinct on these guys. To move for 1 blood tithe, try and screen off, because otherwise I would have been able to drop straight on the objective with any of these other units that were coming up out of the grave. We healed the wound off the direwolves. We got our casts off without blowing the skulls up, with the exception, we didn't, we rolled a 3 on Flaming Weapon, failed that. Failed Hoarfrost on the Vampire Lord. We got Neferata, she's got the 3 up unrendable on herself, and she got Waste Away on these gentlemen here, so they'll be -1 to wound. and -1 damage, but they're only 1 damage attacks. So we took our battle tactic of the Grasping Undead, which is for this summonable unit that's within 3 inches, to be within 3 inches at the end of the turn. So figured a lot of the damage came out of the impact, and I can pile around and minimize the attacks. So we'll see how it goes here going into the charge phase. End of Soulblight Turn 2. We took out this unit over here with Neferata. We failed the charge with the Black Knights, even though we had a reroll. The White King on Steed did get in with a reroll, just to get some extra impact damage, help her out clearing them. Graveguard made it in with a 9. We lost 6 after everything was said and done, but they did take out almost all of the Skullcrushers, left 1. The Dragon took out the next one, made his charge over the top. However, these guys took out the Dire Wolves, so we will fail our battle tactic, and we failed it by just one roll basically there. It came down to the last wound allocated, failed to save, and failed the ward. So we will only be getting 4 points for this turn because the skeletons, Leroy came back and took that one off him for us, and that'll get us 7 to 7. Look, going into turn roll off for 3. Got a 2 to a 2.
So it's going to go in my favor.
In favor of Khorne, because you went first, and you get to choose.
I'm definitely going to go.
Definitely going. All right, going in top of turn 3 for Khorne.
All right, this Khorne's turn. I took Slay the Sorcerer, killed the Vampire Lord on foot with impact damage from the Mighty Skullcrushers to the wound. Skarbrand was able to get in. I got a bless off on the general here. I blundered and ran this guy whenever I wanted to charge him into them, so that forced me to charge her in there. I rolled an 8 on all 3 of these units here. Skarbrand's not immortal, so he doesn't get to fight first, so he's probably going to go first. And then, depending on what transpires over there in combat, throw a rock and hit and wounded, but he saved with a 5 up.
And brought back unit 5 Dire Wolves over here to take that objective.
I spent 3 blood tithe points to Brass Skull Meteor him, and I did
The Zombie Dragon, you did 7.
7. And then, yeah. So here we are. He's got 8 wounds on him so far. Going into the combat phase for Khorne. So
Roger
we
that.
can do with the fight first. End of top of turn 3 for Khorne. I scored my battle tactic by killing the Vampire Lord, as we discussed earlier, with impact damage. I killed the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. Almost killed him with the Lord of Khorne. Skarbrand had to do 1 damage to him. Did it with 8 more wounds. Yeah. I blundered back here with all of my priests and stuff like that. Forgot I ran this guy. He was intending on going in there and killing them. So I couldn't, so I had to charge in with the Realmgore Ritualist. She went in. +1 to hit from the terrain feature, -1 to hit from Neferata, and did nothing. And the skeletons returned enough to hold the objective.
Yay, Leroy brought back 3, lost 1. No, actually no, brought back 2 and tied it up 4 to 4, and we held it last turn, so we got it. And we did shank her for 1 wound.
Scored. Oh yeah.
Graveguard did a couple wounds.
She hurt herself by praying incorrectly.
Yeah.
And I score 1 for holding an objective, 1 for holding an objective next to the pulse, and 2 for my battle tactic for 4 points, bringing me to 11 points, and going into the bottom of battle round 3.
Yep, Soulblight. End of Soulblight movement phase, bottom of turn 3. We took Expanding Grave Empires as our battle tactic. We got these guys consisting over there. Skeletons are in here, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of work because we got to redeploy. Or excuse me, not a redeploy, what was it called? The Blood Tithe ability to move D6 in my hero phase. And you move these gentlemen over here so that they are contesting the objective now. We're at 6 each. Murderlust. Neferata is currently contesting, but she might not be. We moved up our Black Knights over here. Got a 4 Graveguard came back. Neferata got her War Scroll spell off on herself, but it was dispelled with primal dice. Then we got waste away off on Skarbrand for -1 to wound, then -1 to damage, and he failed the 5-up ignore. And we didn't explode the skulls, so we're doing all right. We're going into the charge phase. Bottom of turn 3, end of Soulblight. You'll see a big hole right here. Nephrotic came in, activating the Skarbrand, got the Akenset 5-up, and slayed him. Only got one wound through on it. And yeah, he died. And then the Lord of Khorne on Juggernaut
Killed her.
just slapped her right back in the face and did 16 straight wounds to her without any issues. And she just died. She just decided she's no longer here. Then we had some other stuff just kind of happen. The skeletons attacked and killed the Realmgore Ritualist. And she attacked back, or murder rolled back and killed one of the skeletons, which was enough to pull them out of combat. So they couldn't pile in, so that gives us our battle tactic for expanding Grave Empires with summonable units holding 2 objectives wholly outside of our terrain. And bringing us to 6 points for this turn, 13 to 11 in favor of Soulblight. And going into a roll-off for turn 4. Got a 2 for Soulblight and a 4 for Khorne.
Gotta take it.
Khorne going into top of turn 4.
Khorne, end of charge phase. I took No Cowards Among Us. All friendly Blades of Khorne units have to be within 8 inches of enemy models. Within, not wholly. That excludes the Sigmar because he's Coalition. He only gets the Khorne keyword, not the Blades of Khorne keyword. So I charged my Mighty Skullcrushers in, did 5 mortal wounds on impact. He only took 2 because his wards were really good. Tagging the Black Knights, keeping them from charging in and dealing out mortal wounds, trying to build a wall, trying to protect the pulse moving to my left, your right. Just gonna keep this unit alive and keep these guys within 8 inches of it. They control that objective currently, or we're about to control it. Made some charges here and there. I did a Brass Skull Meteor on the Graveguard. Did 5 mortal wounds. And I'm currently at 2 Blood Tide going into the combat phase for Blades of Khorne.
We did do a redeploy on the Dire Wolves and got a 6-inch redeploy, so he failed the charge. We did take a boulder to the face, so that's kind of keeping our hopes alive over here to maybe sneak around and maybe grab an objective. I don't know, he's in between both of them, so you can allocate to whichever one we're not next to. So it's looking pretty hard to do much on our turn here. Everything's kind of tied up and he's keeping me on this side. So combat phase for Khorne.
Blades of Khorne, end of turn 4. Got my battle tactic. Mostly killed the Graveguard. Mostly, I score my 7 points from the battle tactic and from the objectives, bring me to 18 points. Ended up killing the White King on Steed, and that's basically it. Nothing really exciting happened other than a bunch of stuff dying.
Yeah, White King on Skeletal Steed not making it. He had 4 mortal wounds from the 6s, so that hurt him a lot. He was on the 2-up save from Finest Hour, so he almost made it. That would have given me some more recursion to bring back some more Graveguard, try and get unlocked, but he's another chance to get my summon, or grand strategy for bringing back another summonable unit after it's dead. And we're kind of locked up over here, so without a double turn, I don't know if it's even possible. But we'll see. Going into bottom of turn 4 for Soulblight. The score is 18 to 13 in favor of Khorne. End of turn 4, Soulblight. Wasn't much to it. We did take Callous Overlord. We wanted our skeletons to die. They did end up dying. You murder lusted into them with the hero because I was planning on charging them into this unit, and the hero actually killed them. To the wound, which is great. They failed their saves. Leroy was given permission to die yet again, and he did. The Black Knights are not taking the objective. We've retreated them out in hopes that we'd get a double turn because they're doing nothing, just being tied up. We're not able to take the objective. We still had our Dire Wolves over here holding this objective. The Sigors in the middle could be contesting both of them, whichever one he chooses. rolled for the White King to come back, got him on a 3-up, and put him right here. The big brain play I missed would have been to run the Direwolves over here to contest the Pulse in hopes that I would get the White King to come back, and then that could have gotten me the Pulse objective, because with the Sigor being between the two, he can choose which one he's going to contest. Obviously, he would pick the Pulse because that would give me another point. So that would have been the big play there. I missed it until after the movement phase. And then the Graveguard here were retreated out in hopes that we get the double turn and we can charge up this way. And we brought the White King over here so that we could get some recursion if we do get the turn. So that'll bring us 4 points this turn for Soulblight, and 17 to 18. And with that final returning of the White King, I've gotten my grand strategy, and he has as well. So turn roll off for 5 and probably be able to talk things out. So it's
all in my lap.
Yep. So 4, we're tied up. Blades of Khorne gets to pick. I'm sure you picked to go first here and see what you could do to close it out. Score one more big round.
End of Khorne turn 5, top of turn 5. My battle tactic was surround and destroy. I went ahead and did a blood sacrifice over here on this Slaughterpriest, bringing me to 3 blood tithe points. I chanted with this Slaughterpriest onto this unit of Mighty Skullreapers and gave them Unholy Flames, giving them +1 to their rend characteristic, bringing them to 2 rend. I called down a Brass Skull Meteor upon the Black Knights and I did 5 wounds, killed 2.5 of them. Then I charged in with the Skullreapers, moved this Slaughterpriest over here, moved the Skullcrushers over there, moved here, he redeployed 6 inches. I was able to charge and with the pile-in kind of Tokyo Drift in with the Sigor. I rolled a 9 on the charge here, giving them strikes first. I struck first here and dealt a total of 17 or 16 more damage with 6 mortal wounds in addition.
They did 18 damage worth. You killed 18 of them. I mean, 9 of them.
And then I activated here, piled in to get my surround and destroy with 3 units.
And still contesting this objective.
Still contesting the objective. And bringing the score up at the end of this turn to 23 points.
Yep, so we can kind of 23 to 20. We can talk it out here. My battle tactic I was saving for the end of the turn was Intimidate Invaders, which I can do by just moving these couple of Graveguard up. Got the White King of Skeletal Steed, and we could retreat him out. We've already got the Black Knight there, it doesn't really matter. I will, at the end of the game, only be able to score 1 for 1 objective and 1 for it being adjacent to the Pulse, because there's no way I can get the Sigor. There was a world where I could have possibly battle shocked off the Black Knights and tried to bring them back over here. But I rolled a 1. So I met my battle shock. The only thing I had to roll was not a 1.
That's not sinister.
Yeah, that's not sinister. So yeah, so anything but a 1, we would have had a chance at bringing back over here, and that could have possibly gotten us the win. I don't know how that would have worked out, but on my turn, that would score 4 points, 1 for being adjacent, 1 for 1, and then 2 for the battle tactic. Bringing the score after grand strategies, we both get ours to 26-24, and a win for Khorne. Well done, yet again, back and forth. Skarbrand didn't make it to the end, but neither did the dragon.
But it was a good game.
Yep.
Really good game.
Let us know what you guys think. Like, once again, we have playlists for all of the armies set up, so you can go find the content that you like there, and lists are in the descriptions.